podcast. It's your boy Chaos, back here with the motherfucking Lou in the building. You already know what it do, man. Welcome back, live episode 3. We made it to another one. Thank fucking God.
Round 3, baby.
Round 3, here we go, man. It's been good so far. You know, I can honestly say that we've been enjoying doing this content thing, and we've been having a lot of discussions behind the scene. It's been really good. So it's nice to have you guys, really giving us feedback and helping this thing that we're doing feel like it's reaching somewhere. You know what I mean? So, but anyways, besides all of that, how you living, man? How's your week been? I know
man,
we worked a couple times this week, but
pretty good, man. You know, just trying to enjoy the fam. You know, being home with the girls. You know, we do go far and we spend weeks away, and
man,
you know, it's pretty nice to just chill out for a change. Honestly,
be busy, man.
Hey, man, you know,
Sometimes
life of a mover.
Life of a mover, bro. That's for sure.
And, man. That Washington trip was man.
Yeah, it was actually really nice going up there.
Yeah.
We didn't catch a lot of snow, so that was really good. One of the things I was worried about driving up there was the snow for sure. We took our chains and everything, but man, the last time I went up in that area, it was not fucking fun.
Man.
Huesitos, if you're watching, you already know what the fuck I'm talking about. Lake Oswego, middle of a snowstorm, was not fun, guys. Don't move in the snow. It's not fun. It is not fun at all. But anyways, one of the things we want to make sure we touch on before we get into this episode, as you guys have already seen, it's about accountability, and we'll get into that here in a second. But per usual, you guys can follow all of our socials up above. That's where we're going to be posting up schedules. So far, we've been on this Friday thing. 7 o'clock has been working for us, so that's more than likely what we're going to keep on doing for now. I know we also spoke on having a special guest coming next Friday. We are still trying to lock him in and confirm the dates, but he is actively working just like we are. He is a mover, and, you know, I'm trying to get him on there. And so
shout out Huesitos.
Yeah, Huesitos, if you're watching, we already know what's up, man. We want to really get you on here, get some insights.
He's got some
good stories.
Pretty good stories, and, you know, good points of views, you know,
yeah.
And I don't want to tell too much, but, you know, it's just a different lifestyle that he lives, and, you know,
yeah.
I think it'll help a lot of people.
Mover.
Yeah, cross country, and, you know, he's making some moves out here. You know, like I said, I'll let him get into all that, but I think it could help out a lot of us men. Try to at least you know, have a vision, you know, of how to do things, you know, and it might work for you, it might not, but, you know, at least we're going to want to get that info out there, and I think he has a pretty good point of view of it.
Yeah, guys, and he also went to the military, so he's seen some things in life, and he's gotten a different taste of what being American is all about, and, you know, I think it's a beautiful thing, and some of the stories he has, I think, can be super inspirational, even all the way back until when he came out of the military. And some of the stuff that he had to deal with, some adversities, and how he overcame that. And, you know, he shouldn't even be moving shit
yeah,
today.
Man. You know,
literally
physically and emotionally, he was, you know, he hit rock bottom, you know, and the way he's picked himself back up. And, you know, it's just another inspirational story that I feel like we need to share. And who better than for him to tell it. And, you know, I respect him a lot. And he's a go-getter. And I have nothing but good things to say about Huesitos, man.
Yeah, man. And, you know, that brings us into accountability. And he's kind of somebody that I wanted to structure this behind because, you know, let's be honest, you know, we all go through things in life where life is stressful. We go through adversities, and how you overcome those things is really important. But at the same time, holding yourself accountable when you know you're fucking up is super important. And I think on today's topic, how should a man hold himself accountable in life and in dating? What do you think is most important for a man to hold himself accountable? How does he do such things?
Well, you know, my first thing about it is, you know, I think priorities. You know, I think you should really sit there and get your priorities in line. And if you're worried about the wrong things, like if you don't even have a job, you know, that's the main one. You should, you know, really look at yourself and be like, man, do I really want to keep going without a job? You know, bro, if you're questioning yourself, there's no way a girl's going to even take you in any which way serious.
Yeah,
you know,
bro.
that's just automatic, man. What do you mean you don't have a job?
We spoke on that last week, and having a job as a man is like at bare minimum something you should do in this day and age. Like if you're, you know, out of school and you're still living at home with mom and you ain't got a job, you're fucking up. But even worse, if you're not living at home with mom, you're not working, but somehow you're managing to live, and I just don't, having somebody else pay for your shit, like, it's not a good feeling as a man. So You know, those are things that we feel like, man, you get your shit together in this day and age. Again, we said it last week. There's no excuse for bullshitting and not having a job. So it blows my mind that we know some situations where guys are literally not working, have their girls paying for their shit, and I'm like, yo,
pimp.
That man,
pimp, bro.
I mean, you can either say he's super successful or he's fucking like, bro. Which one is he? Is he a pimp or is he?
He's the Riz God. What else? What other explanation, bro? The Rizms.
Yeah, man. For you to not have a job but have people like still paying for your shit, like that's some savage level shit right there, man. Like, I just don't see how you can do it, man. And I think you can speak because of what we do. Like, it's very difficult, and even in our field, we always have to check ourselves, make sure we're on time, make sure we're not sitting there bullshitting, because in all honesty, we don't have a boss. You know, you and I are the workers, and I don't even like to consider myself any type of boss, but the reality is we still have to hold ourselves accountable. We have a job to do. We're not there to fuck around and just bullshit. You know, if we stop, the whole job stops. So,
yep.
You know, same thing with guys who are not working. Like, yeah,
you just gotta constantly keep at it, man. You know, anything you do in life, you just gotta keep on going, bro. Like, it just says a lot about yourself, you know, especially, you know, you show your people that you're, you know, you're determined, you're a hard worker, you know, all those are good things, good qualities. And, you know, make people trust you and not doubt your word, you know, because you prove it by your actions, you know. But if you're just, somebody that's just staying at home, playing video games, you know, just smoking weed, doing whatever, leads us into the next topic, doing whatever it is that you're doing, man. Hey, man, I'm just letting you know right now that especially if you're trying to date, you know, those type of things that females right off jump are going to see as a red flag, man.
Yeah, you know, and that brings us into the topic of bad habits. You know, I think we should definitely try to recognize when we have bad habits. And it can be so many different things. Watching too much TV, letting your day go by. Sitting there smoking weed all day, letting your day go by. Doing nothing productive with your life. Not hitting the gym when you're supposed to be at the gym. I wrote down a note telling myself, go to the gym, motherfucker. Like, literally, like, you gotta hold yourself accountable, even with goals you set for yourself, especially as a man, because, you know, a lot of the things that we're gonna speak on today is how to help a man become better and more successful in the dating field, but also in life. Like, as a man, like, I think we should always strive to be our best, and I think if we're not doing that, we're not succeeding as men. So, and
again, like you said, accountability, man. We gotta hold ourselves accountable for, you know, everything that we do. You know, small example for me, you know, Chris called me today and caught me slipping, bro. You know, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not gonna lie. One of the things that I love to do when I'm home is I'll sleep, bro. I'll sleep.
This man can sleep like a
baby.
Bro,
honestly, it's just I enjoy it so much, but I can honestly recognize and say to myself, hey, man, like, you could be doing something else. You could be going to work out. You could be whatever, something productive, you know. But we all view things differently, you know. Our job is very demanding, you know, very hard labor, and like I said, I'm not gonna beat around the bush and lie to you. You know, if I got the chance to sleep and rest, I'm gonna do it.
You know, I even though I was giving you shit this morning, and I always give you shit about sleeping anyways, but that's just that's just what I like to do. You know, you know me, I'm a very productive person, so like when I'm home, I find everything that I can get done and try to like do it so that I feel like I do earn that rest. But the reality is, bro, like you do work hard, and you know, we go out on long trips and shit, and when you are home, you do deserve to fucking rest. If that's what you want to do, that's what, you know, go for it. It's not really harming you, you know, because you are still taking care of your bills. I guess you earn that right to fucking sleep. But me as a person, I just, you know, I tend to find.
Yeah, but that goes right back to, you know, how holding yourself accountable for. I can recognize that it's obviously not the thing to do, you know, and I'm trying to better myself. Like I said, again, we'll tell you again, we're not perfect. We're not sitting here telling you that what we're doing is right, what we're doing is wrong. If you guys have any suggestions, maybe, you know, a quick workout you guys could suggest to me, you know, or whatever the case is. Like I said, I'm all ears, you know. But again, we're just giving our examples, our point of views of holding yourself accountable to even the most minuscule things.
I wouldn't even sit here and lie to you, Lulu. There's times where I'm sitting here and I have everything done, and I'm bored, and I'm watching TV, and I feel my eyes slipping. And I'm like, hold up.
Yeah, man. But
I
like I
fight
said,
that feeling, bro.
But again, if let's just say anybody would just come out of nowhere and start doing the things that we're doing as intense as we're doing it, bro. Chances are, I feel like 50-50, you're gonna quit.
Yeah, no, I mean, I won't say that we have the hardest job in the world, but we have one of the hardest jobs in the world. We definitely bust our ass, bro. I mean, the other day we left here 3-something in the morning.
Yeah.
Got all the way to Bakersfield, pack and load 4,500 pounds. Drove all the way back. Had some tacos in between the motherfucker. Fire motherfucking tacos, by the way. Was that off of Weed Patch Highway? You guys gotta check them out. Tehachapi area. Fire as fuck. It's called
that lengua.
I don't know about all that.
There you go.
Fuck.
There you go,
bro. If you guys eat lengua tacos, you're nasty.
This was disrespectful, man. I swear. Tell him to watch his mouth. Okay.
That shit is horrible.
You can't talk about the cow god, okay? And India, they would sock you.
Yeah, I can't do the lengua, guys. Jesus. I'm sorry, but the lengua. Hey, I'm just being real, bro. Like, it's bad enough that we're eating a cow, but on top of that, you want to put his tongue in my mouth? it just.
So what?
It just sounds horrible.
I'll make out with a cow any day, okay? Fire.
That shit sounds horrible, bro. But anyways, point of what we're trying to say right now, guys, is that, again, as men, we have to know how to fucking hold ourselves accountable, even to the most, just like you said, the most minuscule thing. Hold yourself accountable. If you set a goal, like New Year's is coming up, motherfuckers. If you guys set a goal for yourself for New Year's and you have a resolution, stop being that person, especially if you're a guy. Stop being that motherfucker who says, I'm about to get fit this year. And then the ending of the year, you still look the fucking same. Like, that. You people are the ones that fuck it up, bro. Like, be accountable for your actions and the choices that you make, even down to the goals that you choose for yourself. What are we talking about? I got 5 minutes left on break. We're over here talking about accountability of men, how men should hold ourselves accountable, and whether it's in the dating world or financially, just in general, men should absolutely hold themselves accountable for the things they do and if they have goals to achieve.
Yeah, we're trying to speak on mostly on the men's point of view, because that's what we're trying to help mostly here is male self-development,
Yeah.
And again, this just goes back to the most simplest thing is having a job, man. Come on. There should be really no reason why anybody should tell you, you should be working. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's pretty scary, bro. Like I hate to throw my own little brother under the bus, but he's living a good fucking life right now, and he ain't really doing the most he should be doing, and it upsets me because that's not how we were raised as men. And sometimes I want to be harder on him, but I also want him to figure out that life is not going to be easy for you, bro. Like, if you want to chill now, go ahead. Because when you get to a certain age, when you're expected, when you got no more help, you're going to fucking find out the hard way. And, as much as we do our best to, guide his direction and, lead him into a better life, he's,
I mean, sometimes the hard way, sometimes what people need, I do agree. It could benefit you in different ways, For you, it worked out for the better. I remember you telling me that you felt kind of... you felt like your stepdad could have done a little bit more for you and give you more information coming here, the situation that you were living and all that. And you felt like he could have gave you a little bit more knowledge in a way where it's going to help you financially. But you said that in a way you felt like he wasn't there for you on that part. But I think in a way he was doing you a service for you to help figure it out by yourself.
Yeah.
To make you stronger.
Actually spoke on that.
To make you stronger, and because if he were to give you all the answers, I mean, you weren't really going to learn anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that you taking accountability for your own self and not blaming anybody else because they could have done more for you or could have said something more to you to help you out in this hard life that we're living, especially your situation. I think that he did you a service. That's just off of you holding yourself accountable for your actions and the decisions you make.
I'm actually glad you brought that up because so we did speak on this one time before. And I was basically telling you about a little bit of my upbringing, not being born here, having to go through, my young adult life, trying to figure out how to make money, not being born here and trying to navigate that. And yeah, you're right. I felt like so I became a mover, obviously, and it was one of those jobs that you can get cash paid working at the table, and I didn't do that until I was like, I want to say almost 23 years old. Point being is there was this gap in time where, I wish my dad would, because he was a mover, found out that he was a mover later on in life, and I'm like, damn, why as a man, knowing my situation and knowing what I'm about to go into this world, not having a social here, why wouldn't you be like, Chris, try the moving industry. You can actually get some work and work under the table until you can get legalized here. Like, figure that out. And he didn't tell me any of that. I went into the workforce not knowing shit, and yeah, it was a struggle. And I did a lot of jobs that I absolutely fucking hated. And all in all, we had that conversation, and then I realized, I was like, you're right, exactly what you just said. As opposed to him being like, here's all the tools, this is how you got to do it. He was like, no, motherfucker, I'm going to kick you to the fucking wolves. Figure it out yourself. How you going to get out? Figure that shit out. And Pops, I know if you get to watch this again, I really appreciate you for having that mentality, because it really showed me that men don't have things easy, that we do have to fucking work harder, that nobody's going to sit there and hold your hand and help you figure it out. They might, just like they like to say, I'll show you the door, but I can't make you walk through it. That's up to you. You know what I mean? And, again, Pops, I love you, and I appreciate all the shit you've done for me.
Dog.
Yeah, because you've really, showed me things that I needed, not knowing that I needed those types of hard lessons. So I appreciate you, Pops. So anyways, anything else you want to speak on accountability as far as men? Because, we also got to hold women accountable. Don't think you guys are getting off today, motherfuckers, because we got some shit for y'all ladies, too.
I think my main one was probably men not working and not really taking accountability to be like, man, I could do a lot more with my life. Again, you work, you enjoy your life, do what you want. If it's video games, if it's drinking, if it's whatever it is that you like to do, I don't knock you to do it. But again, I'm speaking as a parent. I'm speaking, as somebody that's trying to just get better, just to be here a little bit longer for my kids, you know. And with that being said, we know what we have to do: eat better, live healthier, just make better decisions, just for the sake of their future.
And I wrote down something here that I also wanted to make a statement on. What I wrote down was, people like to replace their goals for instant gratification. And I think it's something that not just men do, but women do. Everybody does. We all want that quick fix. We all want to achieve that reward quicker. So a lot of times we opt to break whatever schedule we made for ourselves, or try to jump the gun and get the cheaper brand of something. And then we get the cheaper brand, and then we're like, fuck, I don't like this. It doesn't work as good as, the thing that I was really trying to go for. So what I'm saying is, I think we should really recognize when we're sacrificing our goals just for that instant gratification. I think you should really take the time to recognize that you're trying to cut the line, and that doesn't necessarily get you the result that you want. So, take the time, build yourself up. It's really important that we again, as men, hold ourselves accountable and, take that time. So build yourself, man, is what we're saying. Don't fucking cut the line. You want to be the best of your abilities, and that takes adversities. Challenges are something that we need in our lives. It's the only way we grow is with challenges. Nothing comes from something that's just giving to you. You don't appreciate it as much, so work for it. And I think that's super important. Anything you want to say on that?
Nah, man. I just wanted to bring up, I know we've all seen them, those motivational speeches, or when, radio hosts are having conversations with artists or whatever. But one that really sticks with me all the time, and he always has the right things to say, is, Nipsey. He's always been a big motivation for me. Just if you hear him talk, just the things he says, they make sense. He said something that you love to do and you want to do in life. You're going to go through every emotion. You're going to want to quit. You're going to be happy. You're going to be sad. You're going to want to cry. Everything, man. You got to go through all that shit. And the only thing you got to do is just believe, man. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself and believe in what you're doing and keep going, Yes, that's one thing that, I really, really cold-heartedly believe, as long as you believe. That's why I say it all the time. I believe, I believe.
Jesus, I believe.
Oh, God.
Hey, that's a good song, man. What you talking about? right, cool. So obviously we know, as men, we hold each other accountable. That's the reason why I talk shit when you fucking sleep. And, it's just because I feel like there's so much more you could be doing when you're sleeping. Why? Like, I'm blessed every time I wake up and I think about the things I can do within a day. There's times where, life is, you guys are doing great. Thank you. We appreciate that, Jennifer. Much love. And we appreciate you even coming in for the little bit of time you had. You didn't have to come in here on your 5 minutes. So, we appreciate that. Hope the airport life is doing great. And don't crash any planes today, huh?
Oh, man.
No, she's an air traffic controller. Shout out, Jennifer. We appreciate you, man, for coming in. We appreciate that love. Hey, Lulu.
Oh, my God.
Rich is up in here. What up, Rich? What's good, man? What's good? Welcome in.
Rich God.
Rich gang. So, look, you can't even know what to point. All right, so next thing we want to speak on is accountability for women. How do we hold them accountable? Because obviously we're not women, so we can't hold them accountable for the things they would hold themselves accountable for. But what we can hold them accountable for is how they are in relationships with us and what should we put up with and what shouldn't we put up with. So how do we hold them accountable, Lulu?
Hey, man, I think you know what? It's not even us as men holding them accountable, bro, because, the men, bro, they don't even care. Like, it could be a gordita, it could be whatever, they'll still, end up giving them some kind of attention or whatever, bro. I think it mainly goes for women being accountable for each other, as friends. One of the main things is I wholeheartedly believe, and I've witnessed it, where girls will lie to each other, bro. They will act like they're best friends, and then when they walk away, bro, they'll be like, "Oh, I hate this bitch." I'm like, you were just.
Weren't you just her bestie right now?
Best friend right now? And they're like have the most cold shit to say about each other. We're like, oh, this bitch is fat. Like, oh, this bitch, or whatever. I'm like, well, okay. So as a friend, which I thought you were, why don't you tell her straight up? Hold her accountable for the way she looks. You know what I mean?
We established last episode that they fucking both
exactly. And again, a guy is not gonna be like, oh, she's too big. I'm not, bro. There's always gonna be a guy out there that's gonna be down for whatever.
Yeah, bro.
But again, I think it goes more for women being accountable for themselves. Because like I said, our standards aren't as high as theirs. They want, tall, handsome, financially stable, all this and that, and we don't knock them for that because that's just what they want. Majority of women, that's what they naturally, head for and want. And again, we don't ask for much, but again, like if you know that your friend's a fucking hard 2.5 on a good day, a straight up 1 on the on a regular day, like then you should like be straight up with her. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion on women holding accountability. You know what I mean? And again, if you're that type of girl that's demanding and you're headstrong and you want to tell your man what to do all the time, just know that you're very masculine, and with all that, it's really not attractive at all.
Yeah. So that actually leads me into what I think that we should do when it comes to dating and accountability in women. First and foremost, I think we need to go back to when we were telling female shit bluntly, like, you are absolutely being a hoe and I won't put up with that, or you are absolutely being masculine and I won't put up with that. And it goes back to the situation I was telling you guys about last week. A lot of the things that she was showing before we even prior into a relationship was things that I just will not put up with. And it's not so much so that I can't accept any flaws. I just feel like that if I accept certain things now, I'm just going to keep on and keep on and keep on. And then eventually we're going to be in a relationship where I'm unhappy and we're fighting all the time. And I feel like that is a detriment to a relationship. So I think the most important thing to do as men is go back to being honest. Like, yeah, you having fucking 30 bodies is a big problem for me. So I don't think we're going to work. Or you telling me, like that example where I told you, I was told like, oh, tell your homie to leave his clothes. Like, who the fuck are you to tell me how to leave shit in my house? You don't pay any bills in here, a situation you guys don't necessarily know about. But my point is I was being told how to do things in my house, and like those things we do not put up with. So we hold them accountable by being honest with them. Don't tell them it's all good. Like, you don't look past the bullshit just because you're trying to, get with them or whatever the case is. I think we need to be honest.
I mean, and I think you made it pretty clear. You actually said, like, that's really, really, masculine, and
super masculine.
You tried, and she would not take accountability. She didn't recognize what she was doing was really masculine, annoying, and really out of line, in my opinion. But, again, this goes back to women not really wanting to take accountability and really taking a good look in the mirror like, damn, I am a bitch. Yes, you are.
And, the crazy thing about that situation is we were talking and potentially going to be somewhere, you know what I mean? And she took it upon herself to, I asked her for a favor to come and take care of my pups when I was gone. But, she took it upon herself to, like, put stuff in my room and move, like, some of my stuff that was on the countertop, put some, just because I asked her to stay a couple nights while I was gone. And it's like, yes, we spoke on potentially being something, but you're just, like, exerting yourself into my life. Even that stuff is red flags to me. It's like, you don't even really fucking know me. I'm asking you for a favor. I'm obviously offering to pay you for it. Like, don't come into my house thinking that you're just gonna run it and then telling me how to do certain things in my house. And it's just, yeah, man. We have to be honest with women,
and not to knock her completely. Feelings. Not to knock her completely. What
we
he was
appreciate
telling
that
me,
kind of shit.
she was appreciated. He was telling me, oh damn, she even cleaned my house.
Yeah,
all those
things. Ask her to do those
all
things.
those things were
nice,
really nice. Good qualities about her. But then all that goes to shit once she starts questioning this man, like, oh, why is this like this in your house? Oh, why don't you tell him like that? Right?
What'd she say? She said, which one of you guys left the chair out? Excuse me? Bro, when she told me that shit, naturally my first response is like, what the fuck? Who the fuck do you think you are telling me to leave? Who left the chair out in my house? You pay 0 bills in here, and I'm asking you for a favor. You taking it upon yourself to clean my house and do other things, yes, to, like, obviously show me that you appreciate me and you're, like, trying to get to know me, but, like, I asked you for one specific thing to come in here and do, and now you're telling me that I need to leave my chairs a certain way. Like, I was home for one fucking day, and you're telling me how I need to leave.
See, the thing is, you're not dealing with, little kids, simps that you can just walk all over, you know what I mean? You're dealing with, a guy that doesn't really need anything. He takes care of his own. He has his own house, does this thing. So naturally, he's not going to allow just anybody, let alone a grown woman, come in and try to dictate the way he's been living. I mean, that's just obvious. I shouldn't have to say that. Just like you wouldn't want anybody to come in your house and start questioning you, oh, why you have the stereo open? Right. Or why, like, that's just something so disrespectful that I would do to you. So what makes you think that you could do it to a guy?
Yeah, in his own house that you are just doing a favor for. Like, the fact that I'm even allowing you into my house and, trusting in you with my dogs, like, that is a big step for me. So you coming in and then, like, doing the most is, like, I think she might not see it this way, but, like, that is being, like, aggressive, and that's a turnoff for men. So I think, I told her that I felt like some of the things that you're doing is super masculine, and she was like, I just don't see how that's possible and this and that, and, like, she was fighting me. Like, I told her, I mentioned the whole chair thing, like, why do you feel it necessary to tell me how to leave my house? She's like, well, I just left it. I'm like, that it doesn't matter. It's not your house. We are not together. So for you, you're already exhibiting traits that I'm not going to want to deal with in a relationship. Because if I got into a relationship with her and we were living together and she told me about a chair being left out, I'd probably fucking be like, you know what? We're good. Because if this is what's bothering you, I could understand if you kept putting it in and, like, mentioning it to me, like, hey, I like to keep the chairs in. Again, these are all things that we haven't even gotten to, and you're already doing it. That's a problem for me. Super masculine. I won't put up with it, and I told her about it, and she fucking freaked and got pissed off.
Yeah, and it just sounds maybe dumb to some of y'all, but
it's petty.
It's if she's doing it already, they're not even labeled as anything. What makes you think that she's gonna change? Or especially when he's been trying to communicate and tell her, like, this is bothering me. This is how you are, and I'm really not with that. And she just denies, doesn't believe it. She doesn't want to take accountability. It's crazy to me. You know what I mean? It's just wild to even think that she views it that way. Like, oh, well, you're wrong. How?
And the problem we run into is this is what ended up happening. And it's also my next note. You know, what ended up happening is when I told her these things, basically, you come off as if you're hurt because all these things that you don't want to deal with, you know, you don't even know me and this and that. I'm like, it's not that I don't know you. Your actions are like literally showing me the type of person you are. And I'm very good at reading body language with people, but you know, the fact that she was doing it so early on was just something that I just wasn't about to deal with. And yeah, ultimately, you know, I ended up being called hurt and toxic and, you know, borderline hypermasculine. And I think it's okay for a man to be hypermasculine, but if you're telling me how to be in my house, then you're being the hypermasculine one, and I won't put up with it. Not in my house.
I agree.
If I was a simp and I wasn't working and I had no job and you were paying the bills in this house, absolutely tell me what to do because I wasn't fucking doing my part anyways. But don't come into my house. We're not even together, and you're gonna tell me how to leave my shit. It's just not gonna work. If anything, that just makes me not want to fuck with you at all. So, you know, and that's how that went. Clearly, you know, people just, man, it just blows my mind. Anything else you can think on how to hold women accountable when it comes to the dating world? Or even, you know, as a mom, or, you know, however you feel we need to address those kind of things?
You know, there's a lot of things that we can, you know, I could point out. But just some of the big things when we're talking about dating is you ladies gotta, you know, obviously act. I want to say your shit does stink, is what I'm saying. And if you're a regular ass looking ass girl and you're thinking that your shit doesn't stink, it's like, man, come on, like. That's the only thing that I could really think of with the dating wise. I mean, with the moms, I won't sit here and judge any mom. You know, they raise their kids the way they want to or whatever. But I will say that as a mom, I think you should hold yourself accountable to what you're teaching your kids. You know, especially if it's a girl, a mom teaching a girl. You know, I think it's your job to show
Give her the boot.
Show the fact that how to be a good woman, you know, how to make sure to guide them and teach them the important things, not just being pretty, you know, not just how to, you know, find a guy. No, I think you should teach them a lot more important things that will make them a good wife, a good woman in society. You know, like I said, I never said women shouldn't get an education or nothing, but I think that in our reality, a woman will get more value, a more appreciation of this life with a family as opposed to chasing a career.
Which brings me to a really good question. I think, ladies, for those of you who are in here, question that I got for you guys: would you guys prefer to chase your career as opposed to having a family first, or would you rather have a family first and chase your career? And if so, you know, if you guys, you know, have an opinion on that, please let us know in the comments, because we're always curious about what ladies do think about these kind of things. But in all honesty, I think as a man, I think that women should pursue having a family, and I think that's a marker of success to me, having a family. I mean, again, there's nothing wrong with women being independent and whatnot, but you got to understand that comes off as very masculine if you're making more than this guy. And you know, it's just something that we're just not going to want to... Again, we said it last week, your pool of men get lower. So naturally, you have to understand if you're chasing your career first, you're also sacrificing potentially even having a family in the future. So why can't we have both? Both career and... why can't we have both, Lou? You have a comment on that one?
I mean, you know what? I go back to what I said about, you know, the way I grew up. My mom, she was always the one at home, you know, taking care of us, making sure we were okay, you know, picking us up from school, doing everything that was necessary in the household. And we're not the most successful kids in the world, but I like to think that we're very good kids to our parents, and we can, you know, whatever situation comes, we won't hesitate in helping our parents. We won't hesitate in being there for our parents. And that just goes off of the love and respect that my mom showed us, being committed to just being a mom. And she took the time to raise us. And when she felt the time was right, if she felt a little bit more independent, like we can do stuff on our own and she doesn't need to be there 24/7, then more power to her. She started working, she started making her own money, she started doing her thing. So I think that you can have both, but I think there's a time and place for everything. And I feel like if you did your part as a mom, then there's no reason why you can't reach your goals after you did what you did and did what you had to as a mom. That's just my opinion on it. Be a mom first, raise your kids, and once your kids are absolutely, you feel that they don't depend on you for the most critical things like eating and or whatever the case is, then I think then that's the right time for you to start chasing your goals if you can. And I don't think it's too late for anything.
I mean, look, it's a controversial take that men would prefer a woman who doesn't have a career and other things going on for her. They would much rather that girl, being all about having a family and being submissive, being at home. And, I think that's a hot take these days because obviously, this economy doesn't really permit, anybody to really sustain a life on their own. And if so, you're working all the time to the point where you don't have time to date. So I think you got to really consider what it is you want in life. Like if you really do want to settle down and have kids, I can honestly tell you that I feel like if you choose to pursue your career first, I think you're substantially dropping your pool of men, and you're going to have to accept who you end up getting when you're at 25, 30 trying to date, because at that point you can't be picky and choosy anymore. Your pool has gone down. So why sacrifice it when you can literally pursue having? I feel like we just got to go back to a point in time when having kids and family is a little more important than trying to chase a career, But again, it's very controversial. I don't agree with you, Chris. Hey, you don't have to agree, and I that's why we do this, because again, I think it comes from a couple different things too. You got to understand, if a man is doing his part and he comes into a relationship with you and he's making great money, he doesn't need you to work, and you can afford to not go to work and pursue a career, and you can stay home and have kids and do whatever the fuck you want. That's where it starts. Like, we have to go back to where men can provide like we used to. Independent women, real champs, will never depend on anyone, work hard, and life is blessed. Okay. Yeah, again, there's so many different takes on here. Let me put it up on the screen so people can see it. See what people are saying here. Yeah, I honestly feel like, man, chats are coming in. More choices that will lead you to where you want to end up. Yeah, again, I think it really starts in the man. If the man's doing all he can and could be provider protector, I think a woman who gets with that kind of man should absolutely consider being more family oriented versus trying to one up him and being just as successful, because I feel like in a household dynamic, it's really hard to have two successful people and then have a cohesive relationship. I think it's always going to clash. What if she is established and has her own career set? Would you have her choose family over job?
I think that's a personal choice. Yeah. Again, if you feel that your career is more important than having a family and kids and all that, then hey, that's just the way you feel, and there's nothing wrong with that. We're just saying that let's just say there comes the time where you want to settle down with somebody and you've chosen your career, and you've pretty much run out of time to have a baby where it's safe. I'm only assuming that you're going to be past 30 at this point. And by then, I think it's going to be a high-risk pregnancy. It's going to be more challenging for you to, it's just that the time isn't going to wait for you. You could choose to spend it however you want. But at the end of the day, like I said, nobody's saying that you can't have your career or whatever. But just know that by the time you want to settle down, it's going to be harder. It's going to be way harder, because you're going to look for a partner that's doing as good as you, if not better, preferably better than you.
You're not going to settle for a guy who's doing
exactly,
less than you.
Exactly. And I think that will be a lot harder, because if let's just say you have a very good career and you have you make very good money, and you want a guy that's at the same level as you, if not, and preferably more, he's gonna have more options. And why would he settle down with a woman that's older, that's career driven, and that quite possibly have a high risk pregnancy when he's with her, as opposed to just dating a younger woman that's possibly in school or maybe just has a regular job, but she's more than willing to submit to his program, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think for sure, I think, again, we're not saying it's bad to chase your career. We're just saying accept what comes with that. A guy who's not going to be, as good as you want him to be. I think men really do have an issue with women who are so driven and would probably be, not comfortable with a girl making more than him. And if he is, then he's probably,
and again, we're not saying it's gonna be impossible. Nothing's impossible. I'm just saying, if there's women that have these such high standards that will find a man that fits their, whatever they're looking for or whatever. But sometimes I feel that once you wait too long and you get to that point where you want to start dating, chances are he's not going to check off all your boxes. You're going to have to at least settle with the fact that he might be, just a little shorter than what you normally date. Anything small.
Yeah, because they have all these prerequisites, as to be tall. Like, most women want a guy who's 6 foot and above. And what's the percentage on,
like 14% of
I think
world's
it's even less
population,
than that.
or 10.
Somewhere around 10 or 12% of the world's population is actually less than 6 feet tall. So, ladies, understand that you guys are already picking from like a really high pool. So the more successful you become, the less and less this pool becomes, and your likelihood of getting a guy who's going to do that who's going to live up to your standards is unlikely. I mean, it's a smaller percentage. I think we've seen statistics where it's like 1% of the guys.
Yeah, I mean, the average guy is only making about 30 to 40K. You know what I mean? That's average. That's an average American. You get what I'm saying? And I mean, nowadays women are making 100K, 90K, and that's because they're going to school more. They have, more opportunity, and that's amazing. That's great. And this is why we tell men to hold yourself accountable, man, because these women are out here, bro. They're doing their fucking thing,
shit,
bro. They're becoming more and more like,
they're becoming more and more masculine, like men, bro. And men are becoming more fucking feminine. That's crazy. That's where the problem is what we're having.
Yep.
Here.
Women are becoming men, and men are becoming women.
Yeah, and the reality is as we're becoming more feminine, it's becoming a fucked up dynamic, because women don't want a feminine man. They say they want a guy that's going to be vulnerable. They want a guy who's going to talk to them. But the minute you go and fucking cry in front of your girl, you lost all respect. So don't fucking do it, gentlemen. I'm sorry. We are not. We should not be vulnerable to our women. I'm sorry. It's hot take, but I think the minute you start doing that kind of shit, you've already lost respect from her. And, women might feel differently, but the reality is are you guys with any guy that's ever sat there and cried to you and fucking bawled his eyes out?
Complained and, really
like, you
showed signs of being beta, really, like not being able to figure it out.
Right. If you got to figure out his problems for him, that's a problem. Yes, you should be vulnerable. Oh, yes, you should be vulnerable. All right, so how should we be vulnerable? Because I'm very curious. Could you really respect us if we sat there and, asked you about every problem we're going through and like leaned on you to figure it out? Because aren't you expecting us to have a plan and be provider protector? Like, I don't know. I don't.
You just wouldn't look at us the same. You wouldn't look at us the same if some guy is really sitting there complaining about his life. Just the simplest things where you can be like, well, why don't you just get a job? Or why don't you just do this? It's so easy for you to think about it like that. But when the guy is really lost in the sauce, again, no girls, you're going to want to coddle him, but you're not going to respect him.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it. Like, there's certain things that you can lean on your woman for, but I think sitting there and crying your problems to your girl is you're failing as a man.
I'm curious. She's Lisa Chang. She's like, a real woman is going to respect that you can be vulnerable with her than vice versa.
Say it, Lou.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever, has a guy ever came to you, bawled his eyes out, and you looked at him like you felt bad, but in all reality, you're not gonna respect his decision making, the way he thinks and all that, because he's already showing weakness just by crying to you, as opposed to being a man and trying to figure it out. And if you're gonna be vulnerable for anybody, you should do it with a guy friend, your dad, your brother, somebody that you feel comfortable with to, get. And not only that, he's gonna give you way better advice than a woman would, because she has no idea what you're going through as a man.
Yeah, and that's something we kind of touched on last week. The reality is I feel like women don't understand what it means to be a man. Again, unpopular, there are different types of vulnerability. Okay. I mean, yeah, there are different types, but
can you give us one example?
Yeah, please. I'm very curious. What type of vulnerabilities do you think it's okay for a man to display in his relationship? And then I just lost my train of thought, what I was about to say about
it's because I'm kind of curious, because no in no way how I'm trying to think of a way where you can be vulnerable to your significant other, your wife, your girlfriend. I think it's more has to do with the dating, especially when you're starting to get to know somebody or whatever, because obviously there's situations where a man's gonna cry, like if his dad dies or whatever, but and when you're going through a real man struggle, like you can't figure out what to do with your life, and you start complaining about those kind of things to a female, they're gonna look at you as weak. They're gonna look at you as like, oh yeah, this is not a guy that I'm gonna be really. I mean, you might want to help him emotionally, but you're not gonna want to date him.
Yeah, I just feel like the minute a guy starts relying on his girl to figure something out, he's, like I said, he's already lost, because, unfortunately, this is what I was gonna say. Women. Look, you ladies might not like this, but you guys live life on easy mode, okay? And you might not like to hear it because it's the truth, and you might not agree with it, but the truth is you ladies live life on easy mode. You don't have nearly as hard as men do. So I think, and for us to have life so difficult and the shit that we have to deal with, we have to perform at all times. We have to exceed a certain expectation. I socially, we don't get looked at the same way you ladies do. And I think that's part of the problem. And I think that's why we shouldn't go to our women to try to figure it out, because you guys just don't understand what it is to be a man. So I don't think we should go and be vulnerable to our women. At the end of the day, man, the only person that I should seek to is God, bro. God's got us, man. At the end of the day, Nipsey said it, man. He's got us. And if there's anything that I need to find out and figure out in my life, I look up, because that man has all the answers. And there I go, fucking up.
and see, look, Rich said real life problems happen as a man, and that's why we have a partner to vent examples. My mom going there, I'm assuming through cancer. Sorry to can't cry to my brothers. Look like a bitch. Just need a shoulder to lean on. And that's a good thing that you brought that up, man. I think that all men need that one guy or that one person, bro. Like, for me, thank God I have, Charles so he can give me advice. I could come to him. I won't, I'm comfortable around him. I won't lie to him. He can give me an honest opinion, and he's not, he's not biased or anything. He'll always make me look at it through both sides. He won't right off jump, be like, oh, nah, yeah, you're right, Lou. No, you're right. No, he's going to tell me what I'm doing wrong, how I can work on things. And if in the situation I'm right or wrong, he's going to tell me right off back. And again, this goes back to what you say, you need somebody to lean on. But in our reality, what we're just really trying to say, Rich, is that I think at the end of the day, it should be a man, not a woman. I mean, I think the only exception would be your mom. I would always count on my mom for everything, but we're saying relationship wise and all that, because like I said, if a man could go through something personal and cry in front of a woman. I did it, when my dad, my brother, and my aunt passed. I just couldn't hold it.
See, I feel like that's human. An acceptable vulnerability, though. You lose someone so near and dear to your heart, man. That's an acceptable time for a man to be vulnerable. I just feel like everyday life things and, adversities that we deal with in life, I don't think we should necessarily go to them. And this is kind of towards, let me kind of reread the conversation. I don't think any guy will depend on their woman to solve their problems, but venting, just expressing themselves, they should be able to. So, look, sure, he can express himself to you, but let's just say this guy keeps expressing himself to you, Lisa, and to the point where it's like you're coddling his feelings. You're trying to help him out through something, and he's just not learning. You know, he's just keeps going through it, and he keeps coming back to you, complaining and venting about the same thing. How long do you put up with it until you tell him like, hey, like shut the fuck up, man the fuck up, and figure your shit out? That's what I mean. Venting a problem to a girl. I just don't think it benefits me, and this is my personal opinion. It does not benefit me. Like, there's nothing a girl can tell me that is gonna like help me solve a problem. I am a problem solver because that is embedded in me as a man. So therefore, I should figure it out before I go and fucking cry on my girl's shoulder. But that's just me. You know, hot take maybe, but I'm just not about to do it. I'll figure it out. And Rich, before I even go any further, man, prayers up for Rosa, your mom. You know, she's a beautiful woman, and man, I know how tough those kind of things can be. And you know, I think yes, we can't, man. Yeah, man, we can't, you know, we can't be pussies, bro. Like, stop being a little bitch. Figure your shit out. If you're venting to your woman, you're already fucking up. What is going on?
There you go.
Here?
There you go.
Hey, I'm on two cameras.
I'm talking about.
On that bullshit, man. Hold on, guys. We have some technical difficulties over here.
You gotta get out.
Here. Put your face right here. Kind of close to mine. No homo. There we go. Now scoot back over. Whoa.
All right.
You're a little too close, buddy. Back up.
Hey, man, I'm trying to fix the camera.
All right, now that it's on, like, now both of them are on you. That's fucking hilarious. Lock this camera in place. This one right here. Hold your hand up. Sorry, guys. Give us a second here.
All right, I'm ready.
It blinked?
Yep.
Okay. Now we got to try to get this one. Now I got to get close to you. What's up, motherfucker? Come on.
Hey, man, you better back up, dog.
Why is it not? Now we got.
Hey, Rich, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Bass up.
Don't do that.
No, we ain't that close. We close, but we ain't that close, motherfucker.
How do I get out of it?
Hold on, I'll figure it out right now. I don't know why they're locking too, because they were not locked on each other.
There we go.
All right, now follow me, motherfuckers.
There we go.
And now let's lock
You're
us back
a big
in place.
head. You keep coming under my shot.
Hey, don't worry about
This
my head,
motherfucker,
man. Don't worry
So-
about my shit. All right?
Hey, fuck.
Fucking
Technical
hey.
difficulties, guys. I'm sorry.
Hey, you know what? This is what happens when you're live. You start
When you
fucking
get trained in Zimbabwe or Ghana.
Look, man,
or
I
whatever.
fucking had to learn all this shit in the course of like 4 or 5 days. So, all right, what we got? Has someone with that type of situation cause their partner's poor decisions and worse excuses them. Damn, it went up.
The partner will ignore them for a week because they're going through something.
Damn. Is it a girl or a guy? That's what we want to know. Girl or guy, Adri? Because if it's a guy and he's doing this kind of thing, we got a problem. But
Where's somebody throw up the kitty emojis?
the kitty emojis. He said, "Stop being a pussy," is what he said.
That food smells like San Pedro.
Girl, okay, so from a girl's perspective, I know someone with this type of situation, I'm assuming you mean coddle their partner's poor decisions and worse excuses them. Their partners will ignore them for weeks because they're going through something. The girl dating a guy like that. Interesting. Yeah, fucking Rich.
Fucking Richard.
Hey, look, Rich, again, man, prayers up to your mom, and I hope she's doing well. You know, she's a beautiful soul, and I remember growing up with her. She was always super sweet to us, man, and prayers up to her, and I hope she's doing amazing right now, and she gets to see many, many, many more years of life, bro. Much love to your family, bro. But anywho, back to Adri's thing. So I'm trying to figure out what she means by this. Well, I'm not quite sure, so hey, we got you, brother. We got you, man. That's a tough thing to go through. Yeah, essentially, because I'm not exactly sure what you mean, AG, but this is what she excuses. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, look, and this is why I feel like women give terrible advice, because they will do that kind of shit. They'll sit there, oh, you know, it's just a tough time, babe. Like you'll figure it out, and da 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 da. Like, you know, your time will come, and like I just feel like that's destructive to anybody. I think be straightforward, Be like, look, it's either one or the other. You either figure it the fuck out or you sit there and let this shit run all over you. Which one are you going to be? Are you going to be a man or are you going to be a fucking pussy? What are you going to do? I feel like that's what women should do for their men versus being like, I got you, baby. Get the fuck out of here. That's just not going to help nobody, man. It's really not. So, anyways, we've been going on this topic for a cool little minute. I know the next topic we spoke on was patience. How do we have it in relationships? What do we do so that we don't fucking blow a lid and don't fucking go and leave and say fuck this shit? How do we hold patience in our life, in our relationships, even at work? Because let's be honest, fucking work can be stressful too, and sometimes you just gotta have patience, man.
Well, I mean,
what do you do to create your patience, Lou?
When it comes to, I'm gonna speak on the, being in a whole blown relationship and living with somebody. I think the best way to exercise patience is just to walk away from the conversation, especially if you feel like you're at that point. Just give yourself a couple minutes, kind of regroup yourself, regroup your thoughts, try to think about just try to take your mind off of it. There's no reason for why there should be two people yelling at each other and being crazy and really not figuring anything out. But it's important to show patience in a relationship because it goes back to the commitment part. We have to be fully committed within our partners, and just learn how to deal with the things that they do or they say or whatever, because you love them or whatever. But again, you just gotta learn how to exercise that patience, especially if you don't want any kind of drama in your home, because that's where it's our place of peace, for any man, your home. And you don't want to be fighting and having to deal with stresses from work, and having to be patient with a shipper that's just impossible to deal with.
Holy shit.
It's different ways, but it goes back to self-control, just exercising patience. And everybody has a different way, whether you have to listen to music, whether you want to have a drink, whether you want to have a cigarette, whatever the case is, man. I think everybody should exercise that patience, especially when you're in a long-term relationship. You have all these responsibilities, you have kids, being patient with your kids, listen to them, and that's just the being in a relationship wise. With the dating aspect, I'll let you touch more on that. But yeah, man, I think we should all definitely exercise patience.
I'm just gonna go right off jump and say the reason why I got patience in this lifetime is because of martial arts. If it wasn't for martial arts, bro, I think naturally I'd be an angry person, because internally, like, there's a lot of stuff that frustrates me about people and life and how they behave, and seeing some of the shit we deal with on a day-to-day basis, especially in our job, bro. Like, oh my lordy, I can go on and on and on about our work field and what we do and how annoying our customers are. But yeah, I think I pay a lot of homage to martial arts, man, because it has really taught me like how to approach situations, analyze the entire situation, and take from it what I need, and exercising that absolute patience. And Richard, I know you know about it, man. Being in the studio, man, having Miss Sanchez on our ass at all the times, and making sure we're perfect. That kind of discipline absolutely creates patience, and I think it's important to exercise that sort of patience in relationships, because let's face it, they're difficult. A lot of times we find situations in the other person that we're dating that we don't like, and you have to learn how to navigate that. And again, holding women accountable by being honest with them and straightforward. I think that's another way of exercising your patience, because rather than, getting bothered by what they're doing, tell them straight up, like, look, this is how I feel about this situation. This is how I feel about what you're doing. I don't think it's going to work if this is the dynamic we're going to have. And I even with the situation that I was just speaking on earlier about her coming into my house and telling me how to be, like, I exercise patience because she had some really good qualities. She had great traits, but I just refused to have somebody come into my house and tell me how to be. So the most important thing for me to do is not blow up at her, not fucking yell, not cuss her, not, get bothered, but just sit there and understand, look, this is just how she is. And I got to decide for myself whether or not it's something I'm willing to do. So I feel like patience is important in anything you do in life, whether it's work, dating, friendship. I mean, you got to deal with me on a day-to-day basis, bro. Like, sometimes... Don't give me that motherfucking look, man. Hold up.
Bro, he's violent.
First of all...
I'm going to tell you the story when he kicked me in the face, bro.
You walked into my foot. You walked into my foot.
No. Does that make sense to y'all? I walk into a full-blown kick?
He walked into my foot. I didn't kick this motherfucker.
Bro, I got eyeball juice on my glasses and everything. This fucking talking about eyeball... Fuck out of here.
He walked into a straight fucking sidekick.
And we're not talking about the one from Crenshaw, man. Dog, the LX. That motherfucker straight side kicked my face.
Yeah, he has to, like, him working for me, right? I naturally have to be a boss at times, right? And, him learning the trade, he's not fully seasoned in it yet. It's something he has to work. And I have to have the patience to understand, like, look, this guy doesn't know things as well as you do. And you have to know how to approach the situation, because at the end of the day, I never want to talk down to you or make you feel less than. Like, our goal is the feet.
Oh, that's funny. Scoop, don't do me like that right now,
she's
please.
on your shit.
Wow. You're supposed to be on my team.
So it's like, again, patience is all around us, even, bro, like, I'll tell you right now, I hate going to, like, DMVs. I hate going to doctor's appointments. All that shit like that. I'm not built for that shit. And I fucking hate traffic, even though I drive every fucking day. Like, it's just, again, there's this book, that Nubian, here, let me see if you guys can see it. My boy Red Wolf, I know if you guys seen his comments before, but I have a book on Stoicism, and it's really insightful because, hey, Team Lou, hold the fuck up.
Better.
Where's my cheerleaders up in here?
Better.
Come on, motherfuckers. Come on. Who's Team Chows?
Nobody like you. This guy.
But anyways, Red Wolf, he's been in here. My boy Nubian, also another black belt. Rich, another black belt. But he gave us some great insights on this book, and it's about Stoicism. And us as men, we have to know.
Rich,
how to
let's go body. I don't care. Let's do it.
We have to know how to navigate this life.
No,
and
I'm kidding.
Have patience in anything we do. So, man, get it together. Like, figure out what it is you want in life. Set a goal for yourself. Hold yourself accountable. Like, don't sit here and fucking give yourself excuses. Don't go for that instant gratification. Suck it up. Ride it out. Fucking take your time, man. Like, I know we only have one life and it can be taken away tomorrow, but why not live every day to the best of your ability and be the best man that you can be for yourself first, and then consider dating and, trying to be a good man for somebody else. Like, I think it's really important that we take these lessons, even to my little brother, Faris. Bro, I love you to death, man, but get your fucking life together, bro. You're not doing anything right now that's going to benefit you in the long run. I need you to figure out that as a man, you have limited time to get your shit together. So, come on, man. I'm looking at you, Freeze. I need you to get your shit together, bro. Like, represent us fucking boys from our mom, because she raised us to be fucking excellent men. So the fact
shout out Mama Chows.
Hey, shout out my moms, man. I love you to death, Mama. Like, the way you raised me to be a gentleman has, like, taught me so many different things. But anyways, Freeze, get your shit together, man. I ain't playing. God damn it. But anyways, on to the next. You want to touch on that before I get any further?
No, I think we.
So the next topic is gonna kind of tie everything in. It's all about commitment. Oh, sorry about that. I pressed the wrong button. Commitment. So, as a man, Lou, what does it take for us to commit to a relationship, or even having commitment to, like, see our goals through? What do we got to do?
Well, I think it's really important. Let's just say you're looking for a girlfriend or whatever, and you really want to know what's the next step, to commit yourself. Because I feel sometimes, and I hate to say this about you, but you tend to skip a lot of that. You get straight to the point type of thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're a single man. But I think in order for a guy to feel that he's going to commit to a girl, I think that she needs to show good qualities. You know,
No red
I
flags
think
right off
we
the bat.
had spoke about it. That you think about 6 months was a good time period.
6 months to a year.
6 months to a year is a good time to get to know somebody. And once you get to that year, you know, I think right there and there, you've already figured out if you're gonna be committed to this girl seriously and treat her right and do the right things, or you're gonna know right off jump if she's gonna be in the, you know, fuck only zone.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna. I
think men know that pretty.
Yeah, right
fairly
off
quick.
jump. You know what I mean?
Fairly quick.
And it doesn't take much to notice these things. You know, and just a small example: if she has a problem with you taking her to the Cheesecake Factory because she's been there so many times, that should tell you one thing: that she's been there
First
with
of all,
way too
cheesecake
many
is
motherfuckers.
fire.
And you know, she's had way too many bad experiences, as opposed to a woman she's like, oh well, I don't really know where to go because she's never been anywhere. She doesn't know any better. So, you know, right off jump, we already know that she's not really for the streets. Her Instagram, or if she has one, she's not really revealing. She's not promiscuous. These are all good things and make her higher in value in our eyes. We really don't give a shit about girls' accolades. Oh, I got a degree. Oh, I got a good job. Like, that really doesn't matter to us. What we look for in a girl is a girl that's submissive, a girl that's not argumentative. You know, all these things make a girl high value in men's eyes.
So you think commitment is more based on experience?
Yeah.
Like when you should commit?
Yeah, I think you should be able to realize when you want to commit to a good girl and a bad girl. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Never commit to a bad girl.
Obviously, but I'm saying like you take that time
Toxic
to
guys,
really,
we don't want them
at all. But you take that time within that year to really get to know him, and like I say, you pick up on certain traits, and you know, I think that's easier for a guy to figure out if he's gonna really commit to that girl.
Yeah, I think definitely 6 months to a year before you even give the notion of being in a relationship. That's a long time, but let's be real, men and ladies. We have all been in that situation where we meet this guy or this girl and we're just fucking head over heels over this girl and we just want everything to do with her. We want to see her every day and this and that, and you know, you're just loving it. Everything, you're loving it. You're even putting aside all the red flags that you see. You're like, it's all good. I fucking like this girl. She's sexy. That or whatever is making you fucking head over heels for her. And then 4 months down the line, there's still that excitement, but then you're starting to see little things. And then, you know, 6-7 months down the line is becoming more and more of an issue. Certain things that you've been putting aside. Then a year down the line, you're at this point where you guys are like used to each other. You're starting to see all the bad qualities in each other. And then, you know, at that point, if you've already made it a point to be in a relationship from week 2, and now you're here a year later and you're seeing all these issues, that's first and foremost a big mistake. I don't think we should just jump into things. And the reason why I say this too is because for the most part, I have done this majority of my relationship life. I have jumped into relationships way too soon. And I don't know what's changed in the last few years ever since I got my divorce. But man, when I tell you, I absolutely, like, if I gotta take it 2 motherfucking years, I'll do that. Because some of the shit you gotta deal with sometimes, I'm like, fuck, man, why did I put myself in this situation? Like, you know, so I think a good year is a great amount of time to like really get to know somebody. I know it's a lot of time to invest into somebody, but I mean, you're single, so what are you really losing? Like, at any given point, if you don't want to do this anymore, you could be like, you know what, I'm straight. Like, you guys, we're better off being single, you know? So, yeah, commitment is one of those things that it's super important to have in both parties, but you should never give it up easy. Men are the relationship givers. Women are the sexual givers. So,
yeah,
you know.
And again, and this doesn't just go for dating and or anything, you know, like we want to speak on the general term commitment, man. You got to commit yourself to make yourself better, you know, commit yourself to going to the gym, commit yourself to not drinking so much soda, commit yourself not to eat out so much, you know, make, if you're headstrong, if you could be headstrong on simple things like that, then, you know, relationships shouldn't really be that hard to figure out, you know what I mean? Because you know what you want, you know what you don't want. And again, I think it's gonna be easier for a guy to right off jump know if that's gonna be a girl for the fuck zone or the I'm probably gonna take her serious. You know,
that's
what I mean?
my favorite zone. I'm just
Preach, brother. But I'm just saying, you know, it doesn't just go for dating. You know, it shows a lot about your character. You know, the level of commitment you have. If you're a hard worker, you know, if you're committed to your job, you know, if you're committed to your family, if you're committed to going to church, you know, it goes for everything. You know, it's really important, you know, for you to commit yourself to something. You know, so
you know, and kind of straying off of commitment. Fucking commitment.
2 weeks ago. He got here 2 weeks ago.
Oh, man. Fucking commitment.
Stall him out.
Have you ever heard of commitment? This is why we go live, God. Man. I'm like, fuck. It's like always my worst fear when we get on live. I go and say some stupid shit like commitment. Oh, fucking Christ, man. All right. What was I going to say? God. Let me see. See, now you made me lose my train of thought.
I made you lose it, huh?
It was commitment. That's what.
Jesus.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. All right, so based on commitment and stuff, we've been hearing a lot of things about passport bros. Why do you feel like that's a thing now? And for those of you who don't know what passport bros are, we got men literally leaving the United States and going to different foreign countries and finding wives over there so that we don't have to deal with the delusional shit here. So, yeah. Why do you think that is?
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, bro. You know, it's different ways of living. You know, women in these other countries like Mexico or like El Salvador, or you know, those are just examples of, you know, our culture or whatever. They're raised differently. You know, they're raised to be a woman. You know, how to pretty much be feminine at all times. You know, and nowadays, in my opinion, females in the U.S., since they have so much more opportunity, you know, they have so much more options, and they pretty much have, you know, made it really hard for a man to try and you know, get with them, because again, we go right back to, you know, more women are being more high earners. You know, they're being more headstrong. You know, they can do it on their own now, and because of the freedoms that we have in this country. You know, that nowadays, like Chris said, you know, it used to be, you know, men were the ones up here, and now that we're on equal playing field, you know what I mean? It's just difficult. It's just really difficult. So when you, and this, I think this mostly goes for wealthier men that are able to travel, and, you know, they can take care of a woman. You know, there's not going to be nothing for them to get a woman from another country that's going to submit to them and follow every lead. And all they really got to do is pay for the bills. They've already been doing that. They just don't want the headache of having to deal with a woman here with, oh, because I got a good job, I got all this opportunity, I don't need you on this. It's just a headache when we could have just go to a traditional woman that still exists in these other countries. That's basically my take on it.
Let's just keep it 1,000. Western women are fucking cooked. And I hate to tell y'all, but y'all are cooked, man. You guys have so many expectations of men. Again, we've said it so many times. 6 feet tall, high earners, you know, fucking competent, stronger, this and that. You guys have all these prerequisites, and you guys aren't even at least trying to fill out your own prerequisites. Like, you ladies should be understanding and knowing what a man wants and knowing what it takes to become a wife. You should not expect a man to just give you a ring just because you look good and you fill some of the boxes. We need you guys at all times to check it all. Like, if you go into a job interview, you are absolutely expected to have prerequisites within this job field for you to get qualified to even be hired. It's the same thing in a relationship. If you want to be a wife, then do wife type shit. Don't sit there and be a promiscuous ass woman and do certain, like, expect so much of a man, and then on top of that you're headstrong and masculine. Like, we don't want that shit. And it's the reason why we have this thing called passport bros. Like, men are literally leaving out of the United States to go get women who are more wholesome, who have less expectations of us other than just providing and protecting. Like, they're okay without the material shit. They're okay with submitting to a guy, because I mean, you know, United States and the Western world is like the only country that, like, has all these problems with women. Majority of other states and countries are not like this, bro. Like, women still understand that they need to respect their man. And I think again, you ladies might not like this, but we need you ladies to respect us more. And I think that's a big problem we have right now is women just don't respect men anymore. And it's why men are leaving here. We don't want to deal with that bullshit no more. We're over it. So, that's essentially where it boils down to. And I think that's really the reason why people are leaving. The expectation that women wants is a green.
What did I say?
He said that shit earlier too. That's fucking hilarious. Look, and that's a small price to pay for some peace of quiet. I'm telling you right now.
Hey man, it's sad to say, but if all she wants is a green card and she's just gonna follow my lead, not argue with me and all that, hey man, that's I am willing to do that as opposed to dealing with a woman that's gonna give me a headache every single day.
It's funny because we talked about this shit. We knew that was gonna be something that was either gonna come up by us or somebody else was gonna say it. But we know, we understand that. Look, and don't get me wrong, the chances of us wifing up some girl that's out of this state and we bring her here and then she gets westernized and understand like, oh, she can get more, like she can get influenced by the shit she's seen on social media and like people who are around her, and she can change. But I think with her, growing with this man, I think she's more likely to stay in a relationship. She's not going to try to leave. She's going to respect him more. I think there's a lot to it other than just what she might benefit, like a green card, Fuck it. I mean, if she gets to have it, come on over. Like, just treat me right. Respect me as a man. Like, that's all we're asking for here. And the fact that we have to go outside of this state and this country to do it is what we're trying to explain here. Like, that's the problem. Then when she gets to America, wait till it changes. Yeah, I mean, and that's exactly what I'm speaking on, see? And we fully anticipate that. But, again, I think a woman... The fact that we're even leaving to do that is part of the problem. We're trying to explain to women that we need you guys to do less of this masculine shit. Like, just dumb it down a little bit. Like, let us be a man. Like, don't always try to challenge us on everything. It's not necessary. So, anything else you want to stay on Passport Bros?
No, that was my take on it. Really.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that. Well, wait. When we get to Rumble, we'll be able to look. Part of why we hold back a little bit here is because YouTube obviously has a lot of censorship, and there's things that we just wish we can really say and really express to us how a lot of you women are being a lot of, and we can't say it as much as we really want to say it, but you ladies are being too promiscuous, and I think we need to get back to a point where women have more morals about themselves. And again, this is not all women we're speaking on. We're talking about a majority of women. So we're just trying to make dating accessible for everybody again. It just feels like it's not, I mean, for me at least. I mean, you don't got to worry about that shit. But I can tell you right now, I've been on one too many fucking fucked up ass dates, and I'm tired of that shit. So anyways, you said you were good on that, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, cool. So we do have a little bit of a quote before we dip out of here. A couple quotes, actually, and one analogy. So one of the analogies that I brought up, and I thought it was perfect for how women tend to be these days and how men are viewed. And this is, again, you guys might not like it, but it's the truth. So I put down, and this is something that I've heard from other podcasters and people who speak on this kind of thing, but I think it's important. So I put, a key that opens any lock is a master key. A lock that opens to any key is a shitty lock. And I think that perfectly explains the dynamic in men and women when it comes to dating. A man who can literally open any lock means that he has experience. He has the knowledge. He knows how to come off to a girl. He knows what is going to be appreciated from him to her. You know what I mean? And a girl who's, opening up her legs to just anybody, that's a motherfucking shitty lock. And we don't want those kind of girls. So
hit him with the ho, ho,
ho. Man, we got to hit him one more time with it. Where is it at? We don't want them kind of. We don't want them. We don't want them. You guys take that shit somewhere else. Stop being an easy fucking lock to pick. Our key should not just open shit up that easily. But again, if a man is doing said thing to open up that key or that lock simply, he's obviously experienced. He's desirable. He's doing something right. So take it for what it is. But I thought it was a great analogy within the dating scene. So Next one. So we wanted to leave you guys off on at least some type of motivational stuff, and we think it's important, especially with the topic being accountability today. So here's one of them. Life is not accountable for us. We are accountable for our life. So make no mistake, man. If you want, yeah, I love it. Ho, ho, ho. Yes, ma'am. There's too many of them out there. We don't want them. Yeah, so we should always hold our own life accountable and the things that we do within it. And I think if us as men are not doing that, then we're failing. And, we shouldn't let life be accountable for us. Like, absolutely not. Because if we ain't doing shit with life and it's taking advantage and moving forward and we're just staying back, you're fucking up. So get your shit together, motherfuckers, is what I'm saying. Stop fucking up. Do what you need to do. Get your job. Fucking pay your bills. And then try to find women and then see where that goes, But
Stop just beating your shit.
Yeah, I mean,
God damn.
Look, beat your shit, but get your shit together too. All right, stop fucking bullshitting. And then another thing we had also said in these quotes was, let's see, there was another really good one that I really like. This is it. So, it is not only what we do, but also what we do not do, for which we are accountable. So keep in mind, just because we are doing certain things to hold ourselves accountable, the things that we're not doing also is something that we need to consider. So if there's things that you guys know that you're trying to achieve as men, make sure you're doing it at all times. Check yourself, motherfuckers. Like, really check yourself. You can't just live every day by day, and not have a plan. Like, have some sort of plan for your life. If you're something you're trying to achieve, small steps, think about what a good step is for you to do tomorrow. Wake up in the morning and try to achieve that. So the things that you're lacking and not doing is also something you should be held accountable for. So if you're bullshitting, smoking your life away, sleeping motherfuckers, and, we want to make sure that we're doing our absolute best to be a good fucking man. And so these ladies, stop fucking telling us we're simps and we're not being feminine and we're not being toxic. We are absolutely fucking handling our business, and nobody's going to tell us how to live it. All right. So that's how we win, man. We win by doing what we need to do to be men, be accountable. Anyways, I'm getting passionate about this shit.
I hear you.
I'm tired. I'm like literally tired of a woman telling me I'm toxic for standing on my standards. Like, if that is toxic to you, then you are going to have a problem with the guys who are really fucking toxic. That to me is fucking wild. The fact that you think me standing on standards is toxic is wild to me. And that's where the problem is in this fucking dating age, man. Like, if you think I'm toxic.
Hey, man, it's easy. They don't have to fuck with you at all. But the fact that they're still there and trying to deal with you, I mean, hey.
The fact that I'm still giving you energy after all the bullshit you guys pull sometimes, it just, I don't know. So, like I said, you fucking Western women are cooked, bro. 80% of y'all are cooked. There's been a small, minute few that I've found that actually seem genuine and seem like potential dating candidates, But I feel like I just weeding through them these days, like, Nope. No. Next. Tell you. Next. Oh, man. But until a good one comes along and, creates more peace in my life and gives me something to look forward to when I come home, like, that's the girl that I know is going to be the one. You know what I mean? So, but anyways, anything else that you wanted to touch on before we get going?
Not really. I mean...
Not really.
Wow. I'm just not gonna say anything.
Shit. All right. So closing remarks was something that I wanted to touch on. I put it down here, and I know this again, hot take and controversial one you guys might not like, but I think you can either understand a woman or you can respect a woman, but you can't do both.
Sheesh.
I know. You can understand her, you can respect her, but you can't do both. Think about that. So I'm not even going to elaborate on that. I want you guys to really think about what I just said And maybe in the next live we can touch on it again and
leave a comment.
Leave some comments, people. We want to hear what you think.
Dislike it, all that. Send it to your friends. I mean, see what they gotta say. We're all different people. We all got different opinions. We all got different points of views. But whatever we're speaking on is, I feel like we're speaking on the majority of regular guys that feel the same way with the struggles of dating. And I get to hear from him firsthand about the females that he has to deal with, the games they like to play. It's really tough, man, because it's crazy to the things that these women would say and then try to flip it on you to make you look like you're the toxic one, like you're the one that's like, oh, it's unbelievable the way that you think and the way you talk to me and this and that. And it's like, you're just not used to somebody telling you no, somebody telling you the truth. And that's what he's trying to say. We need to start telling women the truth, when they're being hyper masculine, when they're just being really unattractive and embarrassing you, and when all that's happening, all that goes with the disrespect, you know what I mean? And are you really gonna sit here and put up with disrespect as a man? I don't think so.
And this is just an example of the shit that we deal with. Like, I think it's pretty fucking wild to even have to state this, but I got a message today from a girl I haven't heard from in a long time. And she was telling me that she needed to move and this and that. So I got to asking her, why do you got to move? She's like, oh, this and like, I don't like the place where I'm at. She's like, but I can't move right now because I need a co-signer. And I'm like, damn, that sucks. And she goes and says, can you co-sign for me? I'll be your girlfriend if you co-sign for me. Bro. I could not believe.
You can't make that up.
I could not believe what I was reading. And I have the receipts to prove it, motherfuckers. So, I'm not going to out her like that. But that just goes to show the audacity that some of these women have, bro. Like, you're really going to sit there and ask me if I can co-sign for you and you'll be my girlfriend. Keep in mind, I tried to be this girl's man a long time ago. Treated her good, took her out on nice dates, did all the things that I should do as a good man, but that wasn't enough to get me a fucking boyfriend title. Now all of a sudden you need something and your best fucking pickup line is
fuck
Christ. Bro, like,
how stupid does she really think you are?
At first I thought she was gonna be like JK, but none of that came behind the message, bro.
Oh,
she was serious. She was dead ass. She was like, I will be your girlfriend if you fucking co-sign for me. I'm like, first of all, why the fuck would I co-sign for you to live somewhere else and then expect you to be my girl?
Wow. We can't make this shit up. And you guys feel like we have, why are they so passionate? Why do they feel this way?
Because that's just a prime
example.
This is what we deal with
of what this woman is trying to do to him. She literally thinks he's so stupid, such a simp, where he's gonna be like, "Okay, yeah, I'll co-sign for you. Like, let's do it. Like, what the fuck, bitch? There's so many other bad bitches out there in the world. Why the fuck would he do anything like that for you? Jesus Christ,
bruh. And
this is female mentality. Yes, absolutely.
The sad part is, bro, there are some guys out there who, because of how bad she is, and look, don't get me wrong, she's a fucking baddie. I would say maybe on a fucking great day, maybe like a 9 out of 10. On a bad day, 8 out of 10. But there are guys out there who will literally be like, really? And go and do it. And then he goes and fucking co-signs for this girl, gets no relationship or fucking even worse, any pussy out of it. And then on top of that, now this girl's living in this place, and if she fucking whatever happens between you and her, or if she can't even pay her bills, who has to deal with that debt? You are co-signed to this girl's debt, like, and you get no benefit, bro. Like, I was fucking flabbergasted that she even
I
asked
still don't
me,
know
bro.
what to say.
Bro, I couldn't believe what the fuck I was reading, man. But anyways, that's just a small sample of the shit that we deal with. And I was to say the Sims, yep, exactly. Sims give them entitlement, exactly, and that is what we're trying to actively avoid in this day and age. Like, there's other podcasts out there like us who are probably explaining it a little better until we get better at fine tuning our points. But the point is we are trying to stop men from doing this simp mentality shit and creating this feminine type of man and fucking up the dynamic in dating. It's already tough enough as it is. So, ladies, like, understand that it's hard for us men already. So, give us a little bit of a chance. Like, make it easier for these guys to come up and talk to you. But on top of that, men, stop being fucking simps. Stop giving these women too much fucking kudos for shit that they don't even deserve. Like, hold them accountable. Tell them like it is. If you're being a fucking hoe, let them know that they're absolutely being a fucking ho, motherfuckers. Like, we are done with that shit. So, we want good women. We don't want this bullshit that you guys are giving us anymore. We're over it. So, excuse me. Passionate about this shit, man. I'm tired of it.
Hey.
What's he say? Yo, checked in from Pennsylvania. What it do? Let's go. Wasitos. We just spoke on you a little earlier, man. And actually, now that you're in here, we wanted to state it again. We're actively trying to get my brother in here for a special guest. Again, he's got some really good stories and some really good things that we think he can give insight on when it comes to dating, life, adversities. Like I said, he's got some fucking wild stories that I think is inspirational to some men. So glad to have you in here, Wisitos. We appreciate you showing up, man. Everybody who's joining in the live, we appreciate all the love. And anytime we can get some type of engagement on here, even if it's, a few people, we absolutely appreciate that shit because we're passionate about this shit. And there's a reason.
And again, guys, it will help us just, share with your friends, like it, subscribe to it. Let's just try to put the word out there. I mean, if we spend all day just liking dumb shit all the time, hearing people on TikTok or seeing people do dumb shit, why not help out your boy, your homie? You feel me? If you really got love and respect for me and Chow's here, man, like, share it.
Which brings us to a really good point. I hate to cut you off, Lou, but you just touched on something that also irks my fucking nerves. We got some friends who are close to us. We grew up with these motherfuckers. Went to school with these assholes. And you have such a hard time even sharing or even watching our content. Bro, if it was us and you put something out, the best thing I can do for you as a homie is watch your shit, bro. I'm holding you fucking asshole friends accountable. If you are my friend and I've sent you this shit, share it. Watch it. At least, because you guys are fucking up by not doing that bare minimum. Just like you said, you can scroll through Instagram and fucking put a like on a girl, put a like on some guy who just fucking busted his nuts on his skateboard. Like, if you can do that, fucking like our shit.
Come on, man.
Share our shit. Like, if you call yourselves our homies and, you're watching, you see us posting this shit up. I see you watching my fucking Instagram stories. If you see it, fucking share it. All right?
It's not hard,
I'm watching you motherfuckers.
Like I said, but we do appreciate the ones that, come on our lives and, hit, chats and engage with us and, we can have this conversation. But at the end of the day, man, like I said, we're not trying to get famous. We're not trying to get rich. We're just trying to put some positivity out there and some real life stories and experiences that we go through that maybe could help you out in your day-to-day life or vice versa. You can help me out if you heard something that I said that you're like, well, why don't you try this? It's to help each other. But at the end of the day, man, like I'm not begging you. I'm not gonna do that, man. If you're my homie and you respect me and you want to support me, then share it, like it. You know what I mean? At the very least, watch it. You know what I mean? See what you think and tell me your honest opinion. You got my number, hit me up. You know what I mean? My social media's up there. So,
Look, guys, I'm not saying that I'm begging for your fucking support, but I'm saying that I know I sent out at least maybe 250 links to people that maybe at least out of those 250, 100 of them I knew personally. And I expected at least 50 of them people to subscribe. But our subscriber list didn't go up like that, but that's okay. That's not what we're really here for. But I'm just saying, like, don't call yourself my homie and you're sitting there fucking being fake. Like, be that guy. Again, I would support you guys, and I feel like it just blows my mind how you start to really see the real people who are up in here. But anyways,
we appreciate y'all, man.
I won't sit here and gripe about it. I'm just saying that, I'm watching you motherfuckers. You guys are on the hook just as much as these females are, so get your shit together, motherfuckers.
Yeah, man.
I'm holding you motherfuckers accountable too, okay? Just like I'm gonna hold this man accountable on the day to day, I'm definitely holding my homies accountable.
If you hear from me, you know why,
bro. You know, even my brother, bro. Like the minute I share it to him, he's like instantly put it up, and that's just what we're saying, bro. One of his friends subscribed today, and it just goes like the dude doesn't even really know me. So if a guy who doesn't even know me is supporting me, why is my homie that I consider close not supporting me? It just, again, get back to a point in our lives where we're holding motherfuckers accountable for their bullshit, all right? So, anyways, that's it for us tonight, guys. We can go on. Again, we have so many different topics that we want to speak on. Today, we really wanted to speak on men and being accountable for our actions. Obviously, we touched on women and how they can be accountable for some of the things that they do. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, what we are trying to get to is a better dating market where men and women are not pitted against each other anymore. We really want to find love and share more love amongst people, and like get to a point where we're just, it's not all these gender wars that we're having, you know. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure being in here. We love talking about this kind of shit. We love seeing all you guys' support and comments, and Lisa, Adri, Wasitos, all of you guys, you know, Rich, Kathy, all of you guys who came in here, we appreciate that kind of love, and we'll definitely come in and do it all over again. Much love to everybody. My boy Lou signing out. Chausa signing out. Until next time, guys, much love. Peace.